qualities, she was a shining example of strength and of selflessness in public service. May our beloved Queen Elizabeth rest in peace and rise in glory. God save the King.
Ms Understuff.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This day is a day many of us which will never come, but many of us believe will also never happen. I need not remind members of Her late Majesty's unwavering service as Britain's longest-serving monarch, her calmness and stoicism during difficult times, and the continuity and stability she offered our country and our people. She personified the virtues of loyalty and humility, never complaining and setting a towering example for world leaders, future monarchs, and ordinary people alike. Her Majesty was the embodiment of our nation's identity, and for many people, she was the United Kingdom, with the uncanny ability to appear unchanging, yet also move with the times. She epitomised the concept of a constitutional monarch and took this responsibility seriously, thus cementing the role of the constitutional monarchy in this country, remaining above politics, yet imparting profound wisdom to innumerable prime ministers and parliamentarians over several decades. But it was not her constitutional link to the lawmakers of this land that made her one of the greatest monarchs in our history, but it was her affinity with every single man, woman and child in Britain and across the Commonwealth. Nowhere is this better exemplified than during her visits, for it was in places like Rother Valley that Her Majesty excelled. Her visit to Rother Valley in 1977 was an unrivaled success. She was greeted by over 7,000 children from across Rother Valley at Maltby Comprehensive School, and on the Maltby Fields, more than 20 schools and youth organisations put on displays. Countless Rother Valley children would cherish the memories of this visit, but my favourite story is about a 10-year-old girl from Letwell who was dressed in a purple velvet cloak with a plea for the Queen written on a cardboard sign. It read, "Dear Queen of England, please crown me Queen of Aston Fench School, love Alison." As the Queen passed, she duly obliged. Taking the sign, Her Majesty asked Alison, "So you want to be crowned, do you?" Then, carefully picking up the homemade crown, held on a velvet cushion by Alison's page boy, a 7-year-old boy called Matthew Alton from Woodhouse Mill, Her Majesty regally placed it on Alison's head, thus crowning her the Queen of Aston Fench School. But this anecdote, like many across the country, encapsulates what Her Majesty meant to Rother Valley, the United Kingdom and the world. Despite all the grandeur, the pomp and the ceremony, and the serious constitutional role she played, Her Majesty's most winning qualities were humour, her kindness, and a famous mischievous twinkle in her eye. She was a cultural icon, but beneath it all, she was the nation's grandmother. She loved all of us and was beloved by all of us in return. I send my deepest condolences to the royal family, on behalf of my own family, Natalie, Persephone, Charlotte, and of all the people of Rother Valley. Eternal rest grant upon her, O Lord, and let perpetual light shine upon her. May she rest in peace. And I offer my humble allegiance and loyalty to His Majesty King Charles III. God save the King.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Her late Majesty